Morning. So a lot of you guys comment and ask what my camera setup is. I've gone over it in previous videos, but I just got a new camera, so I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to show you guys my camera setup. Yeah. So I also want to go over a cheaper setup for those of you guys who are trying to get in it, because I know not everyone just wants to drop a bag on a camera. If you don't really give a shit about cameras, you can skip to this time code, and that's when I'll be done talking about cameras. But if you're interested, that's what this is gonna be about. So 2 things before we get into it. 1, a camera isn't like a cheat code to like making good videos. Like, it's more of a tool. Some people think like, oh, I'm gonna buy a camera and then I'm gonna blow up on social media or whatever the fuck they want to do. That's not really how it works. People don't give a shit if you have a nice camera or if you have a nice lens. They just want to see like entertaining vids that they like to watch. You know, a camera can help with making certain types of videos, but it doesn't automatically make it entertaining. Like, think of how you've seen movies with multi-million-dollar budgets that were just boring as shit, but you've watched like iPhone videos and it was super entertaining. I had someone DM me that they posted 2 TikToks from their Sony a7 III and they both flopped, and he was shocked and didn't know why. And it's like, have you tried posting 100 videos and adapting and getting better at it? Or did you just think the camera was gonna give you views? People don't care that you have a camera. And I'm not trying to discourage you guys from getting a camera, just know it's not like a magical cheat code that's gonna blow you up or anything like that. And then 2, you really gotta do your own research to find what's best for you. Like, you guys will DM me and be like, what camera should I get? And it's like, how would I know? I don't, you know, that goes based off of what you're trying to do, what's your budget, you know, what look are you going for? Just a lot of shit like that. Like, I'm gonna show you guys a cheaper setup, but that doesn't mean it's the right setup for you. Like, that's probably what I would get if I was going for something cheap, but you gotta look into it more, find out what's best for you. So there's really two main things that are going to decide how your footage looks when it comes to getting a camera. If you look on your camera on your phone, you see that blue little dot in the camera, that's the image sensor. So the first thing is going to be the size of the image sensor, and then the other thing is going to be the lens. If you have the same lens and the same sensor size, most of the camera is going to look pretty similar besides some like technological differences within the camera. Let's say I had a Canon with a full frame sensor, then with a Canon 85mm 1.4 lens. I have the Sony versions of those. It's gonna look pretty similar, like almost the same, just like maybe the colors are different, maybe the 4K is a little different. It's gonna look basically the same. So when it comes to like handheld video and like what you're gonna be buying for making your videos, there's two main sensor sizes. There's gonna be full frame and then APS-C crop sensors. If you're trying to go like the cheaper budget route and just trying to get into it, you're gonna wanna get like an APS-C sensor camera. The lenses are gonna be cheaper, the camera's gonna be cheaper. It's just like all around a lot cheaper, but you can still do a lot of dope stuff with it. And then if you get a full frame camera, the lenses are gonna be more expensive. Just things just cost more, the cameras cost a lot more. Just how it is. There's those like smaller point and shoot cameras like the Sony ZV-1, and those are really nice and convenient and got a wide range of features, but they'll never come close to looking as good as something you can change the lens on. The lens is key for how good your footage is gonna look. A lot of you guys ask me if like the Canon M50 is a good camera to pick up. You can change the lens on it and slap on one of those Sigma Prime lenses. I think they make them for Canon too. You can get some dope footage. It's all about the lens. So if I was really trying to get something cheaper right now, I would get the Sony a6400, and then I would get one of their crop sensor Sigma Prime lenses because they're really good for the price. All in all, you can probably get this camera plus a lens for like $1,000. Just remember the lens is key. Like if you toss a shit lens on your camera, you're gonna get shit footage. The reason why they call it a crop sensor is because a smaller sensor crops in your image. Let's say I had this lens on this camera with a crop sensor, it would only capture this much of the frame. So in order to get something that's equivalent to what I'm using on my camera, you need to go wider. So if you wanted something similar to this look, which is on a 24mm lens, you'd want a 16mm lens on a crop sensor camera. And then for most of the like more cinematic looking footage that's more cropped in, compressed, zoomed in, I use an 85mm, and so you're gonna want something a bit wider than that to get this a similar look. You could get the Sigma 56mm 1.4. This is a really good lens for the price. All the lenses I'm using are prime lenses, meaning they can zoom in and out. There's two types of lenses. There's prime lenses and zoom lenses. With prime lenses, you know, the drawback is you can't zoom in and out, but you get a super high quality image at the length it's at, the focal length. Focal length, like 85mm, is the angle at which it lets light in. Think of higher number means more zoomed in, lower number means more wide. So if you want a lower number, if you want to vlog on something, if you want that more zoomed in, sort of like compressed cinematic look, you want a higher number. And then the 1.4, this is a 56mm 1.4. This is the 85mm 1.4. The 1.4 is the aperture. That's the amount of light the lens lets in, which is really gonna help if you're like trying to shoot in low light. If you want a quality zoom lens, it's gonna be super expensive. Plus it's still not gonna be near the quality of a prime lens, which is gonna cost less. Also, the lower the aperture, the more you're gonna get like that blurry background look. But yeah, if I was trying to get something cheap, these are the things that I would get. If you guys are trying to save money, I would always shop used, refurbished, like go on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, look up used stuff. As long as it's not broken, it's gonna work the exact same. Okay, so now onto my stuff. Everything up until now has been shot on the Sony a7 III, which is a really good camera for the price. Like you can probably score it for like $1,500 right now. It's a really good full frame camera. Like I said before, the main things that matter are the sensor size and the lens, and I'm gonna be using the same lenses. Well, actually just picked up a new lens. But the footage will look mostly the same as it did before. The advantages of this camera are, one, it's got a flippy screen, so the whole time I've been vlogging, I haven't been able to see myself. Two, this is like the best camera in low light. Sometimes I film at night, but yeah, this is like the GOAT in terms of low light filming. And then this also has 10-bit color, and then it shoots 4K 120, which are both useful to me. But yeah, it's not gonna look crazy different, but it's a worthwhile upgrade for me. This is the Sony a7S III. Then I also picked up the Sony 24mm 1.4 G Master. I actually used to own this lens. In the very first YouTube video, I talked about how I got a lens stolen at my old gym. This is that lens, and I just bought another one because I really like it. Then the other lens that I use is for like gym footage, stuff like that. Anything that's more like zoomed in. It's the 85mm Sony G Master. Talking about it already. But yeah, that's all my camera stuff. Hopefully that helped you guys. It's the DJI Mavic 2 Pro for my drone shots. But yeah, I'll see you guys when we go to the gym. Sometimes when it gets really cold, the latch that keeps the door closed freezes open. It doesn't keep the door closed, but it stops it from shutting. And I didn't notice this until I was taking a turn because the door seems closed, but when you take a right turn, the centripetal force sends it like flying open. That shit freaked me the fuck out. I had like my pre-workout flying out the door and shit. And then sometimes it happens to the back doors and I have to get my warm-up band from my gym bag to tie the doors shut. When it happens to the front door, I have to like drive with one hand on the door, keeping it shut. When you're driving straight, it doesn't really affect you because the aerodynamics like keep the door closed. But when you're turning, that's when it wants to fly open. Luckily, that shit hasn't happened in a couple of years, but it's like a sneak attack because you never know until it's like your door is flying open. Anyways, I'm gonna slam some pre. We're hitting some heavy duds today. I'll see you guys at the gym. So today, I'm gonna just take you guys through my pull day. The goal is to hit like a reasonably heavy top set of 3 and then drop it down to some lower RPE shit. Also, let me know how the workout footage looks compared to like how it was in the past. It won't be too different. Also, I talked about this in a previous YouTube video, but I ordered a thing of ammonia inhalants. So it's like the bottle, I used to always get the cap, the ones you snap. But pretty much what this is, for those of you who don't know, you smell it before you do a lift and it spikes your adrenaline. I could talk about it a little bit more in a future YouTube video, but yeah, I'm gonna try this out today. I was stupid, and when I opened this up for the first time, I kind of just took a whiff of it. And I think from it being bottled up in there for so long, like just like a ton of it came out all at once. And I ended up like tons of tears walking around for like a minute straight. That's what I like about the snap ones, is it's more of a consistent, like you get the same amount every time, where this is like kind of random. It's not super consistent, but yeah, it's what we gotta work with. Anyways, I'm gonna get into these deads. We're gonna see what we got in the tank. Hopefully maybe like 585 for 3, we'll see. All right, so that 585 felt really solid. I think I'm gonna do 585 for 3 like I said before. Right now my hook grip feels really solid. Like sometimes I just forget how to do it and I can't hold weight for shit. But right now we know how to do it and it's kind of keeping me alive. All right, I'm actually really happy with that set. After the last 585 warm up, I kind of just sat there, played with my camera for like 20 minutes. So I think if I jumped to the set a little faster, it would have been better. So given that, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Anyways, I'm gonna drop the weight, do some lower RPE stuff. I've been pushing the RPE a lot, more like 8 or 9 lately, and we need to be in more of that 6 or 7 range ideally for a bit, because the fatigue is really catching up to me. So we're gonna take it back a bit. Fuck all those steps, I don't know. In my early days of TikTok, I made this post that ended up getting like a decent bit of traction, but it was pretty much like an easy way to hit PRs. Pretty much in the TikTok, this is complete bullshit by the way, I said I used to work at a plate manufacturing factory and that the plates with the handles cut out of them weighed less than the plates that are whole because they weigh them out to 45 pounds before they cut the handles out of them. And then I weighed them out on a scale to show the difference, and I had my toe under the plate with the handles in it, and then the other one was like 46 pounds, and then the plate with the handles cut out of it was like 42 pounds or some shit. And a lot of the comments were like, oh my God, my PRs don't count, bro. And like some people were saying shit like, I don't think that's how all manufacturers do it. And I'd say shit like, actually that's pretty much an industry standard. And I just wonder if people still believe that, because when you first start lifting, you're like super influenceable. Like you pretty much believe anything someone bigger than you says. Like when I started, somebody told me that when you put the plates on, the numbers have to face inwards. And I've pretty much done that ever since, because I was started. I was like, okay, he's right. Or someone else told me that you gotta eat every 2 hours if you wanna grow. And then like for the first like 3 months, I would eat every 2 hours, because I'm like, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. He mentions 225. That's why it's super important for you guys to always do your own research, because like people could be lying to you or just not know what the fuck they're talking about and giving you all these rules and shit, and it can be totally wrong. And when you're in this really influenceable stage, it's really easy to get taken advantage of. Like I remember when I went to a supplement shop for the first time, they pretty much upsold me on anything, and I pretty much blew through my entire $7.25 an hour Burger King paycheck. So they were like, you need the BCAAs, you need 4 scoops of creatine a day, you need the expensive ass mass gainer, you need all this shit, you need the intra-workout carb, and I literally bought it all up because I thought, that's gonna give me gains. And maybe some of those supplements have their place in certain scenarios, but you're pretty much just burning through your money when you first start. You should always do your own research. Like, do I really need this? Like, majority of your gains are gonna come from food and training hard. So that's just a reminder to you guys to always do your own research. Don't get taken advantage of. You know, I only like was stupid like that for maybe a couple months, then I really started educating myself because I like made progress and I was like, man, I actually really like this shit. But yeah, don't get taken advantage of. All right, that's a wrap for deads. I definitely do want to start training at lower RPE so our body can recover a bit, because recovery is all that really matters. You know, if you're training harder than you can recover from, then you're not going to be making any progress. So yeah, I'm definitely going to dial the RPE back. It's actually a really strong tool that people neglect for getting stronger. I personally neglect it too. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. Anyways, I'm gonna bang out all these accessories. I got work at the plate manufacturing factory tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys after that. Sniff, lift, dominate. It always kind of makes me wonder what their marketing strategy is when they make products like this. Like, what's their demographic they're targeting with that? Maybe it's like 40-year-old dudes who powerlift and listen to Linkin Park or 5 Finger Death Punch. This is just another bottle of ammonia that someone else left at the gym. Skull smash lifting large. Not for kids or sissies. Fuck yeah. I just think the marketing behind those products is super funny. Maybe that's why there's not a lot of young people powerlifting. Anyways, I thought that was a super solid session. I'm really happy with that 585 for 3. I'm gonna make my own ammonia inhalant one day for sissies. That way I can attack a whole new market. Let me know if you're trying to invest. I'm gonna see you guys at home. Yo, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Let me know if you like how the videos are looking. Sorry I look kind of homeless in this video, but yeah, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, drop a like. If you guys ever do want to support me and what I do, you can use code Nick on Raz and Young LA. If you guys got questions, hit me up on Instagram. I always answer my DMs. Appreciate you guys watching. I gotta eat and get some sleep, but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.